Hello, I'm Telly and Trevere, back with Of the Devil. Welcome to the stream. Today we're probably going to be starting the trial. I think we were headed towards the courthouse, so I imagine there's going to be a little bit of courthouse chatter, but then I expect the trial shall start soon. So, I cannot wait to see what the heck that is going to look like. Let's get into it, I guess. dot dot dot. Does it excite you, going into courtrooms? What do you mean? You don't feel the tension in the air as the audience murmurs amongst themselves. You don't feel a fiery sense of justice rising in your gut as the prosecution smirks at your ragtag assembly of witnesses. Sarah's just like been sitting in that basement watching all these movies and stuff. Yeah. Beautiful. Do you really think this is going to be like some kind of movie where the good guy is saved the day? Morgan's like, you think I'm a good guy? Probably not. So that would be nice, if it were. What's your deal, anyway? Did David train you off of a movie marathon from hell or something? We did watch films together, if that's what you're asking. Though he was rarely the one who suggested it. What about the guy who throws confetti and cheers when you get a not guilty verdict? I know, right? So you were the aggressor. I thought I'd missed the stream. No, sorry, Bolt. I think I skipped Thursdays, so we're good. Picking up where we left off last Tuesday. What's an android get out of watching a flick, anyway? What do I get? Why do you do it? What's your reason? I'm not sure how to answer your question. Never mind. Forgot what I was talking to. I like the performances. Sure, there you go. Got a crush on Humphrey Bogart or something? He's a handsome man. Oh, little blush. She's so cute. But it's not the actors I like so much as their performance. Is she like trying to watch movies to like learn how to act more human? It's not gonna lie, that's like the most autistic thing I've ever heard. And the truth is, besides father, I have very little experience when it comes to people. I hadn't noticed. I read the net, and I watch people and what they share of their lives. But it's all so subtle, so hard to follow. There are so many unspoken rules that can't be taught, only learned, and I often struggle to grasp them. You're all so complex, so detailed. But the characters on screen are exaggerated, larger than life. The actors enunciate. Their body language is precise and meaningful. Their faces are bright and softly lit, and their eyes are... It's fiction. So these characters and their stories, they have a beginning, a middle, and end. And the people on screen don't ask anything of you except your attention. You can't disappoint them or make them feel awkward. Aww. Poor sweetie. Wait, I'm surprised she, like, feels that way, even... Like, it seems like her human interaction has pretty much just been with David, and, like, I wouldn't have thought that he made her feel that way. But, I don't know. You can just watch and learn. But what about you, Adonai? What about me? She's like, do you watch people to learn their mannerisms and how to fit in more easily into society? Do you like movies? Sounds like David didn't express emotional fondness very often. I mean, yes, like that would make sense, but like I think there's a difference between like somebody not showing you enough affection versus somebody showing like disappointment in you or like negative feelings, I guess. Dr. Asher makes incredible breakthrough by creating the first android with autism. I feel like autistic coded androids are actually very common though. Like that's kind of a whole media trope. So I don't know if it's the first one. His long-term boyfriend definitely felt ignored in their relationship. That's true. Speaking of the boyfriend thing, I wanted to add that one other aspect to their conversation is that he clearly knew that he was going to die. Like he'd already prepared everything with Sarah and whatnot. So I imagine that also influenced like what he said to his boyfriend. Like if Sarah's hypersensitive to human expression, David's underexpression could make her assume she was always falling short. Yeah, that's true. That is a good point. But yeah, I almost wonder if like he was dismissive towards, I don't even remember the boyfriend's name, but if he acted dismissively so that maybe in an attempt to make him, feel better about the dumping, because he knew he was going to die. I don't know if that makes much sense. The other thing I was wondering, this is kind of a random theory, but what's her? Ms. Young had said stuff about how he definitely knew something was ending. It's true. I'm pretty convinced that he knew he was gonna die because, like, he said, he told Sarah that he was giving her to Morgan, essentially, and like set her up with all this stuff so that she was transferred and whatnot. Maybe he didn't know for sure that he was going to die, but at least he considered it a very likely possibility. But yeah, the thing that she was saying about the corporate espionage stuff and the like blackmailing and how they will like poison people and all that stuff. One of the things that was brought up as a possibility was like basically making someone permanently ill and then giving them the antidote if they agree to like do certain things and like spy for them essentially. And I'm just wondering whether it's possible that David could have already been involved in something like that. Like maybe he was already poisoned and had been getting some sort of antidote, but then chose to break it off. So he knew that like without the antidote, he was going to die. I have no proof for this. It's just a random possibility I wanted to throw out. Because, yeah, he clearly did know that something was going to happen. Anyway. Back to the game. Yeah, sure. Back when I was a kid. He doesn't like movies anymore. Really? Who was your favorite director? What was your favorite film? It was a long time ago. It It makes me wonder if she's even telling the truth. Like, maybe it's also one of those things where, like, normal people like movies, therefore I should pretend that I like movies. But she doesn't actually have details because it's a lie. On the other hand, I feel like Morgan is a good enough liar that she could have come up with something. I don't remember. All right. Things are quieter than I expected here at the courthouse. I've always felt courthouse is a bit of a misnomer. Government building is probably the best way to describe these towers. All-encompassing and impenetrably vague. 100 floors of officials and documents and paper-pushing queues. With a couple dozen courtrooms squeezed in along the way. Didn't think I'd be arguing in court when I woke up today. Didn't think that my friend would be dead, or that he'd have thrust an android onto my lap, either. I could just walk in there and concede. Emma would be irritated, and more than a little confused. I could play it off as an exercise in grief. The android would complain loudly, of course, but I wouldn't have to listen to it. Now that it's registered in my name, I could probably just order the damn thing to reset its memory. Don't even fucking think about it. How dare she mistreat her daughter. I haven't done that. And I guess I don't plan to. Why? I mean, honestly, I feel like, you know, even if she isn't, you know, emotionally invested in Sarah's well-being or anything, I feel like she would just find Sarah interesting. Because she is so much more, you know, human-like than other androids she's met. I feel like Morgan might appreciate having an android who will, like, talk back to her more than just a perfectly obedient one. Then again, Morgan does like things to go her way. It must be because I have my suspicions as well. Sarah insists that David would never commit suicide. I haven't actually stopped to ask myself whether or not I agree. David was rational, subdued, private, hard on himself, but not prone to emotional outbursts. So maybe that's why I'm finding myself outside a courtroom, prepared to humor and add suspicions before the state. Because I don't really believe David killed himself either. What's your progress bar at? I can confirm that I am making progress. I mean, she did say before that it was impossible to estimate how long it would take, so how would she know? Well, shit, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But it would be difficult to summarize that progress in terms of a completion percent. Give it your best shot anyway. 4%. She just pulled that out of her ass, didn't she? She's just like, you wanted a number? Here's a number. Time to stall the trial for 2 to 6 hours, yeah. Are you feeling confident in your case? Markedly less so after hearing that. Do you think the judge will be amenable to your argument? What are you talking about? Do you know the judge we've been assigned? Are they particularly lenient or strict? Adjutants are always a coin flip, so... You do know what an adjutant is, don't you? Are you expecting to see a bearded old man with a robe and gavel when we get in there? To be fair, I could see Sarah using her the number of brute force possibilities as her upper bound for the task. Is she even brute forcing it? I don't even know what kind of algorithm she's running. I don't know. But yeah, that is fair that she could estimate, like, if she did just brute force it, how long it would take. But I think in that case, it would be something impossibly large. Should I not? Adjutants are android judges, okay? With all the authority that entails. Interesting. What? Oh, so do they literally have, like, I guess, quote-unquote, 9 personalities? Like a built-in jury? Oh, that's what she said last episode. This encryption is too clever to hack, but she has the processing power to hack it. That makes sense. Yeah, I forgot that. I bet ours is gonna be quite a character, huh? I'm surprised to hear that people are willing to accept rulings made by automated dependents. Rulings come from landmark cases in the higher courts. Those are passed down by actual judges. Real people with decades of study and experience. But not every eviction case or traffic ticket that ends up in court requires years of legal expertise. Sometimes all you need is a referee and a sentencing algorithm. So, androids are used to reduce caseload? Been that way for decades. Uh-oh, YouTube is having a bad time. I'm gonna keep going, but let me know if there's something wrong with the stream. But how was a law that replaced judges ever enforced? Wouldn't there be injunctions? Stalling? Judges did fight it for years, at every level and in every theater. But the public lost their patience for that kind of obstruction during the 60s. The state needed to shred budgets across the board. And so judges that couldn't be replaced by years of legal battles were instead ushered into early retirement by the unrelenting force of our great nation's accountants. And it's not controversial? Having machines determine sentences for human beings. YouTube is never having a good time, to be fair. I guess, but it is saying that there's some sort of error. Oh, no, it's back. It's back to excellent. So I think we're good. Whatever controversy there is gets aimed at the machines, not the people who put them there. Well, that's just unfair. And the machines can't lose sleep over it. Wow. Besides, it used to be that even the most high profile of crimes wouldn't get a court date until weeks or months later. Nowadays, most crimes are prosecuted within a single business week. Truly the Ace Attorney way. And that's not rushing things. Keeps people in my line of work on their toes, that's for sure. I'm just surprised to hear there's so much haste. Don't they teach you about classical conditioning in android school? I don't think she ever went to android school. She was literally in a basement. You gotta feed the dog immediately after you ring the bell. Punishment doesn't follow the crime in quick succession. The lesson doesn't stick. I don't think that's how it works. I really don't think that's how it works. I see. But if adjutants are so effective, why aren't they used in every trial? Why aren't they used in politics? That's a logical question to ask. And the answer is... But logic only gets you so far when it comes to people. Doesn't everyone want the courts to be as just as possible? If adjutants are truly impartial and incorruptible. Everyone wants justice, sure. But there are other considerations to be had. Such as... disgust. What? Huh, what indeed. That's all people really care about, what all their morals boil down to. Just what they do or don't find disgusting. Huh. I mean, that is true in a lot of cases. It's being a weird kind of technically correct here, yeah. The only problem is, everything's more palatable when viewed through a screen. To a certain extent. So when everyone sees the world through AR and cameras, and no one ever gets dirt under their fingernails, you'd be surprised what you can get away with. I don't know about that. I don't understand. Yeah, well, therein lies the problem. That she's literally saying, machines can't understand this. Right. 6:24 p.m. Courtroom 48D. Let's go. There's our Emma. Just a preliminary hearing, huh? You wouldn't know it from the look on her face. But I shouldn't have expected any leeway once we stepped into the courtroom. Not with her. That's the adjutant up there. Is it asleep? Hello? Interesting. Cool, like, headpiece over there. It's loading. Yeah, operant conditioning is the thing where you use rewards and punishment to shape behaviors, which is arguably what the carceral system is supposed to be. Yeah, crime leads to punishment, so don't do crime. Yeah, it's true. Batman, welcome to the stream. You didn't miss a whole ton. We were just kind of having a chat with Sarah. Classical conditioning is more about teaching a brain that one thing naturally follows another. Yeah, like, you're not trying to, you know, condition a reflex. You're trying to teach people, you know, a certain cause of effect, and that doesn't require that kind of, you know, immediate effect. And welcome, Polly! Best character. Oh, okay. Let's see what this is all about. It needs to load. Don't be rude. Not every ad can afford to be decked out as extravagantly as you. Especially not those the state buys in bulk. Oh boy. This is the mass-produced one. There's an audience. You mean the gallery? That's nothing. It could have been a lot worse. Word of any trial in the case of David Asher's death must have spread like wildfire. Even a mock trial like this one. Detectives like Ray's or London would get chewed out for leaking things to the press. But uniformed officers had little to lose and a lot to gain by dropping a text to their attentive friends in the media. And then there's the corporate plants. Interns usually, preferably ones with modded eyes. It's illegal to film inside a courtroom, but this is the year 2086. think they're gonna get out one way or another. I don't like having my face on camera. I don't like attention in general. I mean, you are a criminal, to be fair. I'm not such a coward that I'd skip David's funeral just because there'd be paparazzi outside of it. My pretty little likeness was going to end up in the background of some tabloid photograph one way or another by the end of this circus. At least this way it's decent marketing for my legal services. What will happen once the adjutant finishes loading? It's not trying to steer people away from crime via punishment, but teach criminals that punishment is immediate and inevitable. Like a force of nature, the system cannot be bought. Yeah, that is true. The system is absolute. Justice will be immediate and swift. How will the trial proceed? All those films you watch, I'd figure you could extrapolate. Well, I think she's also extrapolated the fact that you keep telling her it's not like in the films. I'm asking so as to correct any misconceptions. Well, not everything you saw on the silver screen is outdated. The court will come to order, and there will be a clarification of the charges. The defense enters a plea, and if it's not guilty, the prosecution begins making their case. That means calling witnesses to the stand, correct? Mostly. Sometimes they'll testify virtually from a separate location. Depends on the security concerns surrounding the particular individual in the case. What do you do then? Sit here and watch? Not if I want to get paid. I cross-examine witnesses after the prosecution are done questioning them. Of course, as we always do. I can present evidence or witnesses of my own in response, as long as I have discovery backing me. You've said that before. Discovery means... just that I can't pull stuff out of my pockets and present it without any kind of context. I have to have proof that I acquired it legally during the course of my investigation. Most of the time, that means having recordings or witnesses that can verify my investigation. Which I can provide. You didn't think I was letting you tag along because I liked you, did you? Rude! Updated autopsy report denied. You would think, but we still have that, that encrypted file. We are going to be updating that, that surveillance report. It's gonna happen. And the jury? I don't see where they would sit. The jury hasn't sat in the actual courtroom for years now. They have their own chambers, where they watch a feed of the trial's proceedings in anonymity. I suppose that makes sense. And that's not an issue. Don't people want to look someone in the eye before passing judgment on them? You've got an old-fashioned sense of justice, don't you? I mean, she does learn it all from movies. But there's no jury at a preliminary hearing anyway. It's only meant to evaluate whether or not the prosecution has enough evidence to go to trial. A mere formality in today's day and age. With tools like optics and arcs, there's never any shortage of evidence to work with. So all you have to do today is convince the adjutant. Easier said than done. Adjutants lean heavily towards evidence over argument. And right now, all the evidence suggests that David killed himself. If it's going to be an uphill battle, I can't afford to stumble. I need to focus on establishing an alternate interpretation of the facts, and it needs to be solid. I don't have a suspect, or even a motive for killing David. Yet. Anyway, I'll need to be sharp. Emma doesn't play nice enough for me to be anything less. I think it's waking up. Oh boy, new character to voice. I don't know what she sounds like yet. This third lower court is now in session. Adjutant AD 84 presiding. I call to order the case of the people v. Asher. Is that okay? Do the people wish to make an opening statement? I totally forget what I did with her, too. No, Your Honor. No point in bothering when it's just the adjutant here. Very well. Do the defense wish to make an opening statement? Not at this time, Your Honor. Might as well ring the bell and get this shit show started. If neither the people nor the defense wish to make an opening statement... Then it falls to me to set the stage. My model name is Adjutant. My unit designation code is AD 84. I am a machine, an automated dependent, and I serve the state by presiding over trials. You might find yourself wondering, why? What gives a machine the right to judge a human? Just going straight into the philosophical debates. A fair question, but the answer is simple. In every culture, in every society, no matter how it is worshipped, enshrined, or deified, justice has one defining quality. Being blind. Justice is beautiful. What? What is that face? That's alright, I heard you and Sarah talking, Morgan. Yep. Like a balanced equation, like the golden ratio, like the Vitruvian man, justice is beautiful. So, what gives me the right? This gorgeous bod! Oh boy, she is a character. I might need to adjust her voice. We'll see. Whatever. Forget it. Forget I said anything. I was trying to lighten the mood, but I can see everyone hates me. Do the trial without me. They're guilty or whatever. Your Honor. Wait, what the flip? Oh my god. What is going on? Alright, hang on. I need a drink. Did I go like full Valley girl for her? I started with a very neutral voice, like how to voice her. She does this. Like, well, I still don't exactly know how to voice her, but I think I might try something more Valley girly. I don't know. This defendant's already dead. Why are we doing this? Is this a debug thing? Because I'll log the error if I need to. Oh boy. The perfect way to go, okay. Oh no, I still have to keep remembering how the heck I'm trying to voice Emma. No, Your Honor. This is a preliminary hearing to determine whether David Asher did, in fact, commit suicide as he... I get it. You want to make sure he wasn't cuckoo in the cranium before you cut up his will like a T-bone. I didn't realize that adjutants were so lively. They aren't. They're supposed to be austere and statuesque. Looks like we got served the most in need of repairs adjutant the court system could find. Whatever paper pusher we rushed to get this trial going must have wanted a little payback for the kindness. What's that look for? Could it be your... trying to size me up? Wouldn't dream of it, Your Honor. Good, because if you have doubts about my ability to run this trial, I could always just enact summary judgment here and now. I'm sure you'd find my ruling to be fair and even-handed. That won't be necessary, Your Honor. She's much more of a character that I'm used to seeing up there, even counting all the flesh and blood judges I've met. But she's still just an adjutant. She'll follow the evidence where it leads. So long as I can make a few adjustments for the occasional outburst from the bench, my plan's still workable. So, people, shall we get started with that first witness? Right away, Your Honor. The people call Dr. Yumi Sato to the stand. Oh, I'm gonna have way too many characters to juggle. Oh god, this is a nightmare. I think the last time I did, like, an unvoiced visual novel might have actually been Amaranthus. And that had a pretty limited cast. So this might get a little bit out of hand. We'll see. Oh boy. It's Yumi. Hey. So how about it, pretty lady? Oh my god. Do you swear to tell the whole and unadulterated truth to the best of your ability? I do. Good enough for me. Dr. Sato, you were in charge of the autopsy for David Asher, were you not? I was. And when did you make your examination? I started last night. Well, technically, 1 a.m. would be very early this morning. I think you can still say last night if you're talking about 1 in the morning. Objection! Already! The defense will have their opportunity to cross-examine. Until then, they should refrain from making errant remarks. The hell? All I said was... 8084 is like, no witness is gonna flirt with a robot unless that robot is me! Yeah, what she said. You mean, sustained? Don't get cute with me, counselor. Oh my god! Alright, we're gonna have to be a little careful with this one. Also, does she have 6 fingers? Oh, no. Okay, no. This is her arm. I thought that was like another finger. Okay. Never mind. Her arms are just so skinny. Being cute is my job. God damn, we've barely gotten started. That seemed pretty bad, don't I? Making mistakes will increase your blind. Blind is how much credit you'll lose for answering incorrectly when you yourself aren't controlling the ante. Okay. Blind increments on its own throughout the trial as the stakes get higher, but resets at the end of each day. Ooh, fun. Blind starts at and caps out at a higher number if you're playing in High Roller. Nice. Mind the blind number in the top left when it appears. Helps you gauge what you stand to lose. We should try to avoid being penalized in the future. Thanks for the tip. Shake it off. I'll get my chance to raise objections of my own soon enough. Dr. Sato, were you able to determine the cause of death? He passed away due to respiratory failure. Could you explain what that means to the court? Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen into his blood. It seems by the time he arrived at the hospital, he was no longer breathing. What does respiratory failure look like? What are the symptoms? There would be lightheadedness, Dizziness, fainting, pale skin, and a bluish tinge around certain extremities. And the condition he was in matched those symptoms? Correct. In your experience, what are the most common causes of respiratory failure? It can be caused by injury or disease. The subject had no wounds or reported illnesses, and otherwise appeared to be perfectly healthy. And what else could cause respiratory failure, then? It is also commonly seen in fatal drug overdoses. Drug overdoses. Did you perform a tox screen on Dr. Asher? Yes, but his tox screen came back clean. Whatever killed him, it wasn't something we've encountered before. Wait, a clean tox screen? Clean? Dialogue will proceed automatically during testimony, but you can still choose to advance text manually with continue. You need to read carefully and wait for the witness to make a statement that sounds wrong. Because, yeah, I think we did see that, you know, the drug was detected. Then hit the call button to call their bluff. Hover over the call button or toggle on Insight to focus on the claims within a witness statement. Okay. Can't let this chance slip by. Need to catch her mistake the second it comes out of her mouth. Alright, first of all, let's... 80? Interesting. Only for a self-assigned observant O people. Oh boy. Take a quick look at our evidence. We do have something. So yeah, that's definitely something we need to call. Whiskey. Why do we have whiskey? Oh, okay, we're getting the... Wait, hang on a sec. Okay. You need to respond with evidence. Confirm your card before the timer runs out. Hang on, wait. Wait. That was not a lot of time, and also, it wasn't the evidence that I expected to see. That is, Opened your mouth without thinking, huh? It'd be really nice if you could see the evidence during the testimony carousel, yeah. There's only room for one airhead in this courtroom, and it's not you. And the timer was extremely short. It's me. Of course, Your Honor. Okay, so we have whiskey, David's contract, and upright cup. I feel like those were not... The upright cup was John's cup. What? I'm so confused. Those are not the... Those are not the pieces of evidence I'm interested in. I want to show this. What the heck? Okay. Okay. Maybe it's a case of, like, the thing that I'm thinking about is later, and we have to do something else first. Maybe there's a different piece of evidence that we need to refute right now. Okay, whiskey, the contract, and the upright cup. Okay, let's take a look at them again and see what can we actually get from these. This, like, doesn't say anything yet. I think we're gonna have to look at it closer later. so confused. I have no idea what these say in this situation. Okay, yes, that's true. Okay, also true. Okay. Sure. That's the problem, I think. Something she said just now doesn't make sense. There's evidence that directly contradicts her. I just need to find the right moment to present it. H is the 8th letter and D is the 4th letter. So she's AD. ADHD. Interesting. No idea. Out of the evidence that we... Can we also not look at... Hang on, can we not look at evidence while we're in here? What? What? Okay, in here I think we can look at evidence. Okay. But I don't think looking at this evidence is gonna help me. Alright, this might take me a bit, but I don't need any hints or anything. I guess I'll start trying things and see what works. I wonder... I was gonna say, I wonder if there's a way to, like, change the cards that I have available to play, but I don't think you can. Shit. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna try calling it again and see what I can do, but you get so little time that I didn't even really have time to look around in my options. It's only the 3 cards, yeah. Okay. Let's get back to this and look at the evidence one more time. I don't know, maybe I missed something. This is the upright cup, correct? So this is the piece of data, or is there a different upright cup? There was the water glass, but I think it was Young's cup that they're talking about. I might have an idea. I don't need any hints yet. We'll see. Maybe if well, I guess there's only 3 options, so worst case scenario, I can do trial and error, but right now, I'm not seeing how this evidence says anything about the talk screen. That seems completely irrelevant to this conversation. We're off to a fantastic start over here. Oh, you know what? I have an idea. I think it might be that he was literally drinking whiskey. If they, like, did an analysis, it probably would have showed that there was alcohol in his system. I think that's also something that needs to be said. So I'm gonna try going with the whiskey. That makes sense to me, I think. Wanted bit. It's a fun animation. It's impossible for David Asher's talk screen to be clean, and we all know it. Since he was on camera drinking alcohol the night that he died. Oh! That makes sense. And that scared you? Witness merely misspoke, Your Honor. As it plainly states on the tox report itself, Dr. Asher did have alcohol in his blood. But not at such a concentration as to be lethal. Yeah, my bad. When I said the tox screen was clean, I just meant, huh. I wonder if that was an honest mistake? Or if she's lying. Like, did someone, like, pay her off to cover something up? It didn't tell the attending physicians anything they didn't already know. Overall, a little more nitpicky than I'd like to be, but at least I was able to balance the momentum, more or less. Shall we continue, Dr. Sato? If the tox screens were negative for pharmaceuticals and drugs, what caused Dr. Asher's respiratory failure? During my autopsy, I analyzed his blood and was able to isolate a foreign compound. So there was a lethal dose of a drug inside his body. It just happened to be a drug that the hospital had never encountered before. And that's correct. I think we're all going to get tired pretty fast if we don't at least pick a placeholder name for this substance, Your Honor. Oh my god, is she going to get to choose a name for it because it's going to be something ridiculous? The first time in a Court v Endgame, we get to throw shit at someone else! Incredible. The people don't object, Your Honor. In that case, I'll put all my creative heuristics to work coming up with an original, scientific, fitting name for this substance. A name like Omega 3! That's already taken, girl. Hello, Cookie Slayer Sayori. I love visual novels. Bye. Are those cookies for us? Thank you. Everyone grab a cookie. Courtesy of the Cookie Slayer. Thanks for dropping by. Francisco Malkarma would truly be living in the dystopian space future. She likes salmon. That's true. It did say that, didn't it? So is she deliberately naming it that just because she likes salmon? Or does she just not realize that salmon has omega-3 in it? That name is already taken. Finally, cookies and not crumbs! Oh my god, you're so right, Luke. We have finally achieved cookie. At last. Fine. Call it Delta or whatever. Delta. Used in science to denote an unknown variable. Not bad. Delta has other meanings when it comes to drugs. But yeah, our Delta matches no known public pharmacology or toxicology records. That being said, chemically, it does have all the hallmarks of a general depressant. I know the feeling. It stands to reason that it would exhibit a similar effect on the body when ingested. You say ingested. Why? I eliminated all the other possibilities during my examination of the body. He must have swallowed it, and judging from his stomach contents, it must have been a liquid. Thank you, Dr. Sato. Will I summarize things for the court? Yes, please! I wasn't listening that closely. The victim died of respiratory failure. Okay. This tox screens showed that his blood was clear of anything that could cause respiratory failure. Except for this unknown substance. Poison we've labeled Delta. Well, that sounds like a textbook suicide. Should we wrap it up here? Not quite yet, Your Honor. This may clearly be a poisoning, but there's at least one detail about this case that doesn't feel like a suicide at all. Interesting. So this is kind of obvious, like we already know that. Though, I mean, that doesn't necessarily rule it out. But I don't think there's anything new here. Yeah, here we go. So she didn't see him add anything. It's kind of weak, but... Oh, I guess, okay, we have to... I haven't had to do this in a while. I think we have to drop things, like, on top of... Okay, we just dropped things here. Okay. I think this is the closest thing that, like... It clearly wasn't in the bottle of whiskey, so it would have had to be in his cup. And Young didn't see him add anything, but he could have added it before he brought the cups in. So it's pretty weak. I feel like the others don't really say anything, though. I'm gonna try this. The people shouldn't get ahead of themselves. There's nothing textbook about a supposed suicide that had a witness sitting there watching it happen. That's also a very good point. Like, if he was gonna commit suicide, why didn't he wait for her to leave? And just, like, do it in the quiet of night when no one was there? I mean, heck, not just the fact that someone would be there to witness it, but also... You know, they could have potentially managed to save his life somehow, and then his whole suicide would be ruined. So, it's tricky. As you say. Oh, now I'm lost. Was this poisoning a suicide or not? If that's the case, then perhaps we should give the defense the opportunity to cross-examine. Unless they're going to insist on testifying themselves. How kind of you to offer. All's in my court now, so how do I counter? This argument basically goes as follows. David ingested the Delta knowingly, and the Delta caused his respiratory failure. What is all this? He died of respiratory failure, thus David committed suicide. Blackjack. Every piece of information you learn deals you a card. Only the questions that are logical and relevant, and only press if you think a line of questioning is worth continuing. Oh god. So it's like Ace Attorney pressing, except when it's like actually limited. Oh god, that sucks. Or else you'll go bust and lose credit. Uh-oh. Select the press option to see what the follow-up question would be. You can only win blackjack when you reach exactly 21. So don't press further if you're already there, and don't ask the wrong questions. Oh god. Oh, this is gonna be rough. With my cross-examination, I need to put a microscope over the weakest part of that argument. And hope that some cracks will appear under pressure. Okay, so all of these things are like pretty well determined basic facts of our situation right now. So we're gonna... So we have to pick which one of them to... I mean, the thing is, for all of these, the obvious answer is that, like, no, we're not 100% sure, but we don't currently have any other explanations. So I feel like they're equally unknown. think the delta thing is maybe the weakest. I think at this point I just have to guess. Like, I don't think I can logic my way out of this one. Let's take a gamble, I guess. Dr. Sato, you were only able to even identify the presence of this delta after hours of work. Can you really be sure that this never-before-seen chemical can cause respiratory failure? Well, I have had time to run simulations, and I do give every indication that it would act as a depressant. Just enough of any depressant and respiratory failure would occur. Ah, interesting. But did he ingest enough, is the question. Because I believe it said it was a pretty small amount. But that small is obviously very relative in this case. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say whether that's a lot or not. Some substances are stronger than others. I'm gonna... Wait, what does that mean? Only simulations? Oh, that's the question that she's gonna ask. Ah, shit. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. Shit. I mean, what else would they do, really? Like, test this to go... produce some of the substance and then test it on someone? Like... Ugh. I think I'm maybe gonna try some of the others. You know what? This will test this drug line. Oh god. Oh, this game is stressful! Especially with the high roller mode. I'm gonna try... Let's try to press! You've ran simulations. You haven't tested Delta on an actual person. I mean, I guess technically they could just test it with very small amounts, but still that would be... Human testing is, you know, a whole ethical, like, process. Like, you can't just do it in the space of a day's work. No, I haven't. That was completely the wrong voice. That would have been very difficult to do, given our extremely limited sample. Not to mention highly unethical. Of course. But without such a test, you don't actually know for sure that Delta can cause any of the symptoms you've described. Is there a question in that statement, Counselor? You don't actually know for sure, do you? No, not yet anyway. Oh, we're dangerously close. I imagine clicking on this again isn't gonna do anything, so that's probably a bad idea. Let's try this. Is it possible that he actually died from something other than respiratory failure? Well, no, not really. Okay. You could argue or speculate about what caused the respiratory failure, but it is, in fact, a fact that he died because his heart and lungs stopped working. Right. Thank you for that. Okay. Well. Dr. Sato, you said that the subject had to have ingested the Delta orally. How sure can we actually be about that? Pretty sure. I mean, I could go into detail about all the cavities that I checked, but... Is it knowingly? How do you even determine something like that? I mean, I guess it's a good question to ask, but I have no idea what that would give us. Alright, fingers crossed. Let's hope this gets us to 21. But how sure can we be that the subject ingested the Delta knowingly? Well, we can't be sure of that. Certainly not just from the autopsy. You said it must have been a liquid, yes? Would it have been a large amount? Yes! It depends on the concentration of the delivery solution. It could have been just a drop. The kind of thing that could easily go unnoticed, yes? Cause for speculation, Your Honor. Withdrawn. Aw, man. I wanted to jump on her case. Seems like that's... blackjack. Thank you for your time, Dr. Sato. We all appreciate it. But it does seem like we're still in the dark about many details regarding Dr. Asher's death, wouldn't you say? Well, poisoning via the compound we're calling Delta is still the most likely explanation. So there are other explanations for what happened? Defense is calling for speculation, Your Honor. It's not speculation when a medical examiner is attempting to explain the cause of death, Your Honor. The witness will answer the question. Well, respiratory failure can be caused by illnesses. If he had undiagnosed pneumonia or some other disease, and his respiratory system was weakened. Undiagnosed pneumonia. His level of healthcare. It is technically possible. I'll take it. I have no more questions for this witness. Ugh. I felt weak, but I can't be picky when I'm stalling for time. Seeking things out wherever I can, however I can. It's just about all I can manage. The yawning face, so funny. Detective Reyes, you're one of the leads in investigating this crime scene. Yes, ma'am. And did you interview the EMTs who first arrived on the scene? I did. They responded to an emergency signal from the home's security console, located in the kitchen. Man, her voice and Sato's are just, like, identical at this point. But I guess you're not coming here for professional voices. It's fine. What did they find when they arrived on the scene? The victim was unconscious, on the floor of his parlor. He was receiving CPR from a witness, the individual who had called them. They were both airlifted to Gatesfield Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Asher was declared dead shortly after arriving there. She's actually handling herself pretty well up on the stand. I half expected her to roll her eyes during the swearing in. But when you take into consideration her love for boot-heel authority, she might be right at home here in the courtroom, the very seat of the state's power over the people. The witness met with the deceased about half an hour before he fell ill, from 7:30 to 8 p.m. The two of them talked for some time and shared a drink. Shortly after, David became distracted, or Dr. Asher became distracted, lightheaded, and eventually non-responsive. And during the same time period, drinking the same liquor, this witness exhibited no symptoms themselves. None. Through a collaborative effort with Noble Electronics Security Division, we searched the entire building. But we found nothing unusual in any of the food or drink on the premises, including the bottle that the witness and the deceased drank from. So what was your ultimate conclusion after investigating the scene? The whiskey bottle was clean. The witness's drink was clean. The only person who got sick was Dr. Asher, drinking from a cup that he had prepared. So it was our determination that that David Asher committed suicide by poisoning himself. She's pretty tight-lipped up there, but I think she slipped up at least once. Police want to claim that they've eliminated every other possibility and covered every angle. But I know that there are a number of blind spots that they're not willing to admit to. Huh. Is that the only one we have? Interesting. I mean, the fact that this was... I don't know. Oh, no, sorry. I forgot I need to click to get the rest of them. My bad. Okay. So, the 2 cups and the poison. So this, we can maybe use this inconclusive test. What does the poison say? No traces found at the crime scene. Okay, that's normal. Yeah. Yeah. That we don't know. Okay. No poison anywhere else. Yeah, okay, I think it's the, what's it? Inconclusive. So it's David's cup. So she can't actually say for sure that there was no poison. All I need to do is point it out, and then I'll get to watch her self-destruct, which should be fun. Okay, so it's David's cup. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's cute, counselor. You almost made a salient point. Do I get points for that? Boy, I hope not. Otherwise, I wouldn't get to do this. Overruled. Yikes. I need to make objections more carefully than that. Okay, I messed up. Huh. Oh! I don't know. I mean, can we maybe use the fact that we didn't find traces of the crime, of the poison? The stream skipped from me describing what I'm pretty sure was right to the objection not working. Yeah, well, either I misclicked something, or I used the wrong evidence, or maybe I have the right idea, but I didn't present it correctly. No traces found. Okay, maybe I clicked on the wrong cup? I wonder if this could also be it. Maybe not. Because you would maybe think that if he had poisoned the cup, then there would have been traces of the poison left in it. But I'm thinking it's this, and saying that she can't back that up, because the test was inconclusive. That would be my thought. Might try it again, just in case I, like, misclicked something last time. But it's entirely possible that I'm missing something, and my approach is not correct. Alright, It's probably not a good idea with the blind already at 8, but I'm gonna give it a try. Come on. No, okay, yeah. That is indeed not correct. There go my credits. Oof. Huh. Let me check the poison. This could potentially be used for something. Actually, hang on, was it? Interesting that this, so you can see the, like, highlight of the thing that you're actually refuting. That's kind of helpful. That doesn't have anything. In the lab, the basement. No poison anywhere else. Well, okay, also, she said no poison anywhere else, but there was also no poison in the cup. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Maybe I should try the poison on that statement? I'm really not doing so well with the credits, so I need to be careful. Fuck it. Oh god. I'm gonna die. Yeah. Uh-oh. Alright, it looks like we dropped for a second. I hope that it was only for a second, that I haven't just been, screaming to nobody for a while. Okay. Felt brief on my end. Okay, cool. Scary. Yeah. Alright. Shoot. To cut out a bit. Okay. Well. Thankfully, it's back. Hopefully it stays that way. I think I'm gonna try to go through her statements again and see if there's another statement. We can double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. He's the one who prepared their drinks. We do know that. So I think this is also something that she can't back up. A cup that he himself poisoned. We absolutely do not know that. I could maybe try to use the poison on that. Saying that, you know, if he had poisoned the cup, that, I don't know. Also, like, if he had put the poison in there, then, like, the poison would have come from somewhere? Like, it would have been in some kind of container previously to being in the drink? So they probably would have found it there, too? I'm thinking maybe the cup he poisoned himself statement is the one that I might need to present on. But I'm not 100% sure whether it should be the cup or be the poison. I'm gonna try the cup, I guess. Just on a different statement. Because that's also definitely a statement that she can't back up. Like, we have no idea if he put poison in the cup. I guess let's go for David's cup on the cup he poisoned himself. Hope it works. Oh, finally. Just had the wrong statement. You can't make that claim. Not when the evidence record clearly shows that tests of Dr. Asher's cup were inconclusive. The police can't claim he drank from a poisoned cup without first proving that his cup was, in fact, poisoned. You're talking a lot of sense, lady. Does it resolve? Or do you have a response, D.A. Rockford? Testing on the deceased's cup has been inconclusive so far, Your Honor. I don't dispute that. Though I'd be surprised if the defense has any idea how else the poison could have possibly been delivered to Dr. Asher alone. Not at this time. That's the funny thing about the burden of proof. It's not on the defense. As we're all aware. Right. We all knew that. I definitely knew that. Now, if the people are done bemoaning that pesky innocent until proven guilty issue, perhaps I can begin my cross-examination. Fire away, baby! Fire away. Baby? Ray's testimony is meant to show that David's the only one who could have poisoned himself. She'll be on guard and hard set against helping me. If I keep her focus on eliminating other possibilities, I could get her to make my point for me before she even realizes what's happened. This is definitely something to ask. 'Cause like if he went to the basement to get the drinks, potentially if there was someone else in the basement, they could have done the poisoning, which is part of why I keep saying that Sarah's gonna get accused of this at some point. Although, of course, we also know that Sarah was deactivated at that time, and I'm pretty sure we have logs to prove it. But if there was someone else in the basement, which isn't on camera... The only people you saw on the cameras that night were Dr. Asher and this witness, correct? Yeah, there was no footage in the house of anyone else. She's the Maya Fey, after all. Yeah, that's what I've been saying from the very beginning. She's gonna get accused. Are there any parts of the house that aren't recorded by camera? Sure. There are a number of rooms in the home's interior that don't have cameras in them. So it's possible that there were other people there that night, because cameras weren't watching every room. No, that's not possible. The only way up to the penthouse is through the building's elevator, or the fire escape stairs, both of which are on camera. That still wouldn't get you past his front door, which is also on camera. No one besides the two of them was there that day. I mean, someone could have left the poison in somewhere. And if they had been there before yesterday, we would have seen them leave. Again, through the front door. Oh no. Come on. I thought I had something. Or we would have found them during the course of our investigation of the house. Your Honor, I believe we've exhausted this particular line of questioning. She's already asleep! Not that exhausted, god damn it. Oh gosh. I'm guessing it's similar to the other one, where one of these is just an immediate bust. Detective, isn't it possible that Dr. Asher was poisoned off camera? Possible. I don't know how else it would have been done. That just goes to show it had to have been suicide. The only time he was off camera, he was all by himself. Ah. Oh god, we're down to 13! 13 Uh-oh. Shit. That's not where I wanted to lead the conversation. It might certainly seem that way, yes. Detective, you've been doing a lot of assuming and reasoning in quick succession, so I'll ask this plainly for the court. Was there any photographic evidence showing David Asher adding anything to his drink that night? Nothing more, it framed the child. No! No. Seems he had already poured for both of them by the time he returned to the parlor. He had already poured. In that case, the next questions need to be when and what. Huh. Oh, that's new. Detective Reyes, during the course of your investigation, did you find any samples of Delta in the kitchen or parlor? No. That was a fast answer. Well, it was a pretty easy question. If we had found poison at the scene of the crime, that'd be pretty important, don't you think? What about in his lab? His bedroom? His basement? No, no, and no. We didn't find Delta or any other unusual substance in any part of his penthouse. Right. They never found any poison. No poison at all? Absolutely, Cress. At any point in the investigation, was poison found on the body of the deceased? No. He must have been searched. Did he have any capsules or vials? Eyedroppers? Didn't even have his wallet on him. Why? She doesn't get it. Thank you for enlightening the court about this point, Detective. What point? Well, I think it's strange, don't you, Detective? I mean, how could he have possibly poisoned himself without first procuring some poison? Blackjack. What do you mean, procure? Where did it come from, Detective? The poison that you're so sure was dissolved in his drink. It can't have come from thin air, you understand? It had to have been in another container at some point. Whatever it was in before, it probably evaporated. All of it. It only took a small droplet to kill. Your Honor, are you going to ask him to keep it civil? In a minute, sure. She's just like entertained by the show. There wasn't any pill bottle in his bathroom or a syringe in his pocket containing this apparently deadly substance. So how did he get it? What did he keep it in? The police want to claim that Dr. Asher committed suicide because they've established that his guest never had an opportunity to kill him. But they failed to prove that the victim had the means to kill himself. But I guess I'll be the one to move things along. The dozen didn't come out of thin air, Counselor. Uh-oh. And it didn't come from a syringe either. Dr. Asher was able to drip the poison right into his cup. Straight from the source. What? Oh, what was the thingamabobber? This machine capable of assembling organic or inorganic compounds. So it might be something like this, that it can create this compound. Shit, that's way too specific to be a bluff. Allow me to submit evidence into Evidence Exhibit G. A piece of machinery found in Dr. Asher's laboratory. Sold under the product name Manufacturer. I was like, that's right, Dr. Asher was a poisonous serpent, and he just dribbled into his drink with his fangs. Oh boy. Oh, I know this one. It's used in delicate scientific work to produce nanomachines, chemical compounds, and polymers. That's the same machine I saw when Dawes gave me a tour of the production floor. Very good, Your Honor. It's a valuable tool in any scientific laboratory. Dr. Asher was well acquainted with its use. As a matter of fact, he had a number of presets coded into it. Even the android can see where this is going. With just a few taps, he could reproduce any number of specific substances from his research. Or any other chemicals his heart desired, really. Do you think Randolph Mechanics would allow their product to be used to produce illicit chemicals? I mean, they might not have that control, especially if it was an unknown substance. Like, if it was known substances, maybe they could have some kind of, you know, protections against it, but using the manufacturer to make unlicensed drugs does go against their terms and conditions. So Dr. Asher's warranty is certainly null and void. But they can't hard code their machines to prevent the production of a drug that hasn't been invented yet. Dr. Asher died when his respiratory system failed because of a depressant overdose. For him, it would have been peaceful, like falling asleep. You see, he didn't need to commission a synthetic drug from some street vendor, or order an exotic poison from overseas. He could produce Delta at any time, in the comfort of his own home. A quick and painless death, readily available in under a minute at the touch of a button. Specifically, preset number 19. Oh shit. Damn. I thought I actually had something for a moment there. I was playing into Emma's hand the entire time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Seems like we're done with this witness, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am. But before we move on, perhaps we should take a moment and put together a timeline of events as we know them. Not for me, of course. Just in case someone else might need it. Simple enough. We know that Dr. Asher left the parlor and went down to the basement at 7:36 p.m. That's where he got the whiskey. And the cups they drank from. The cameras show him returning to the parlor to drink with the witness at 7:40 p.m. And of course, we know that he fell ill and passed away shortly after. Any objections so far, Counselor? I don't think so? Oh god, we're so gonna die. I don't think I have. What do we have as far as the timeline? I think I'm gonna stay. Not at this time, no. The timeline you've described is accurate, as we know it. As you say. With this latest piece of evidence, we now know that Asher could have easily dispensed the poison directly into his cup. Where was the machine, though? Inside his lab. The lab isn't in the basement, though, is it? I don't remember exactly the layout of his apartment, but like would the lab have been on the way to the basement? Lab is in the basement? Okay. I didn't remember if it was. By placing it inside the manufacturer, activating the preset, and simply waiting 2 minutes. What was the timing? Camera. Okay, she was on camera. Yeah, he went to retrieve the liquor at 7:36, and it took him 4 minutes. So, yeah, he would have had time to produce the poison, theoretically. Easily accomplished during the 4 minutes he spent off camera from 7:36 to 7:40. Wouldn't you say? Ooh, a complete timeline of events. He had the means. He had the only opportunity. Seems like we're about ready to wrap up here, no? The glasses shine. Where are we on that loading bar of yours, Sarah? I don't know, I had a feeling you'd say that. Well, counselor, are we done here? I mean, I feel like I have to raise something. I can't just say we're all good. I don't know what, but it has to be something. Oh, I have no chips left. Feels like we're missing at least one biggie here, folks. Time to bluff the Phoenix Wright way. Namely, motive. Wasn't expecting her to pull that one out. Oh, right. I knew that. I wasn't getting excited to finish early or anything. True gambler's way, yeah. This is a preliminary hearing, counselor. Our focus should be on the evidence, so... This feels like an awful waste of taxpayer dollars to get us all down here for debate and not get to the truth of the matter, you know? Yeah, exactly. Morgan's just gonna be like, yeah, LMO, I give up. So, I was hoping we wouldn't have to go through this next part. What are you talking about? Your Honor, if it pleases the court. Ooh, new evidence? Gimme! This is a recording of a phone conversation, dated at 6:30 p.m. last night, between the deceased and a man he was in a relationship with. Ooh, we get to see the details of this, potentially. A man named Isaac Porter. Porter and David's breakup call. If anyone wants to present it here, now, then the content must be... relevance, Your Honor? Yeah, that. What bearing does this recording have on the case at hand? It establishes what emotional state the deceased was in on the day he died. Cool. Begin playback. Hello. Always so soft-spoken. Isaac, are you there? Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. What's wrong? Don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting you to pick up. Why not? Did you mean to call me? Yeah, I did. You're gonna ask me how I've been? Yeah. How have you been? Christ, David. What's the matter? Whatever it is I did, I'm sorry. Whatever you did. That's alright, man. I'm sure you are sorry. I just don't want any more apologies from you. I'm sorry. Stop apologizing. I'm sorry. Classic. Okay. I don't think I want anything from you anymore, David. What do you mean? I shouldn't have done this. This was unnecessary. My bad, man. For not taking the hints. For you, it's always better left unsaid, right? More efficient that way. You can keep working. Isaac, if I've been distant with you, or... Nah, you haven't been distant with me, cold with me, or anything with me for a while now. Isaac. Just forget it, man. Forget it called. Forget it all, yeah. Let's just forget we were ever anything but strangers. That's all we are now, anyway. Isaac, I recently have been distracted, I know. Nah, don't worry about it. Really, we're good. Oh. Okay. So do you need anything, or should I... Where did you even get this? All of Dr. Asher's incoming and outgoing phone calls were recorded by the building's penumbra system. And the recordings continued for several seconds after each call was ended. Quality assurance. Remind me to check the terms and conditions on my next phone bill. Shall we hear the rest? Gotta be the last time. Last time I let someone... Last time. See, that does not sound like a suicide. Like, this sounds like he's saying he's not gonna, you know, get romantically involved with anyone or, like, emotionally attached to anyone or whatever. And that implies that he's going to be alive to potentially let that happen. Basically what I'm getting at is if there's any ambiguity in any statement ever, David is not going to get it. I didn't get that feeling. Like, it did sound to me like David understood what Isaac was saying. As long as it sounds sad, they can rule it. I guess. Like, it does sound like he's sad. That's true. Father. It might just be a call, but it makes for pretty damning evidence at this point in the discussion. Emma's got her means, opportunity, and motive all lined up. So why is she looking at me like that? That was depressing. Can we finish up without anything else that horrible? That's never been apologetic in victory. So does that mean this is just... pity? Ooh. Less than 2 hours before Dr. Asher died, Isaac Porter ended their relationship over the phone. The court can make a reasonable assumption about what kind of mental state Dr. Asher was in last night. It was a bad move, Miss Rockford. Then, if the people have nothing further to add... I've been feeling off my game all day. Caught between corporate inbreeders and ant-braid protesters, and... She's never going to admit that she's actually feeling grief. I don't know, I feel like David read the "we're good" as more positive than Isaac meant it. I didn't get that impression. I don't know, it's possible. Like, maybe he came away with the idea that, like, Isaac is ending the relationship, but at least, like, on good terms. But, I don't know, like, it seemed to me like he got the point. Maybe he didn't quite get the finer details of it. But pitying me, here and now? That's all it takes to get my blood properly boiling. It's about time for me to call my first witness, no? Wanna keep going after that? What are you doing, counselor? Calling the ultimate silver bullet, rock-solid, slam-dunk witness a girl could ask for? Your stage of grief is anger. Is here good? Does it matter where I put my hands? Miss Starling, thank you for coming here today. That's an evil face. It is a very good face. A good evil face. Of course. Whatever I can do. What is your relation to the deceased? I was his executive assistant at Noble Electronics. I would arrange his meetings, coordinate communications between him and other departments. That sort of thing. Ultimate silver bullet. Starling's the only play I have right now. The only stalling tool I have left. For now, I should just focus on getting as much information from her as possible. By the way, I am thinking of potentially ending the stream relatively soonish. We are coming up on almost 2 hours. So... we can probably get through her questioning. Probably. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I think let's try for that. Maybe. Although... Just Starling is just stalling. Oh my god, I had no idea. That's really good. I feel like for the most part, there haven't, or at least I haven't noticed, any pun names in this game. If there are pun names in this game, they are clearly way more subtle than Ace Attorney, which is incredible. I'm gonna have to keep a lookout for that then. Oh man. We need to make a gamble. How long is this testimony gonna be? I think I might just call it here. I do want to keep these episodes on the shorter side, just because they are literally 2 hours straight of me just talking. I feel like I usually get to sit back and watch the game a little bit more. But here's just no breaks ever. Okay, I do get to take a little bit of breaks when there's gameplay happening. When I'm trying to decide my next move, but... yeah, let's just get right up to the start of her testimony and then stop there, I guess. Whether or not it's useful, it'll at least buy me some time. While Jess was being sworn in, Sarah mentioned that the hard drive's about 60% decrypted. Oh, so now she has a percentage. That's a good percentage. 60%, we're almost halfway there. considering the rate Sarah's gone at so far, there's maybe another hour left. She said it was, like, exponential, though, right? So maybe she can do it faster. I might be able to stall that long. If I talk real slow. Okay, I think let's ask you a few questions is probably a good place to start. Or to stop right there. Okay, what do we have here? I6 call. Okay, so this was around 6:30, and then Young came in 7:30, and then he died around 8. Isaac ended their relationship. Okay, cool. This might be relevant for later. This is common knowledge. I wonder if that fact is going to be relevant. That, like, someone can exploit that. We're at 17 credits! This is so bad! What is the blind at? It's not showing right now, I don't think, but it was bad. I think it was at, like, 13 or something last I checked. We are so screwed. Yeah. Next time is gonna be fun. Alright, cool. Oof. And now I've saved over that. I'm gonna have to go through the rest of the, like, trial like this. I'm not gonna be able to go back to the start of the trial, I don't think. That's interesting. Well, that's fine. We'll manage somehow. I think at some point, if we manage to win back some more credits, we can save there. So we have a better, better starting point. Although, to be fair, once we know what the answers are, then going back to a previous save, even with low credit, is not too bad. Yeah, high roller mode. Fun stuff. Alright, well, that'll be it for today. Thanks for joining me, guys. This game is tough! Jeez! I'm just losing everything left and right. I think part of it is just the standard, like, Ace Attorney stuff of, like, you know more or less what the answer is, but you need to figure out how the game wants you to say it. And I will say the cross-examination bits with the blackjack are really tough. Because there I really just have no idea what effect which thing is going to have. Like, any of them could feasibly just be a, like, what are you, stupid? Like, obviously that's not right. But, yeah, it's really hard to tell which one will actually produce some kind of results. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky game. But yeah, that was really cool to get to finally get into more of the gambling mechanics and stuff. And of course, meeting our judge. What a character. Alright. Well, that's it for today's stream. We should be back on Thursday. Usual time for the continuation. So, I'll see you then. Good night, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.